Seattle's identity is forged in three things: relentless rain, oppressive gloom, and coffee as black as the night sky. In 2025, the Seahawks defense embraced that very soul, christening themselves the Dark Side. This unit is a merciless squadron of predators and enforcers, a group that achieved a defensive DVOA rating of -4.1%, a figure that eclipses every single season the iconic Legion of Boom ever produced. This defense finds its strength in the suffocating gray and misery of a Pacific Northwest winter. And for the last 5 months, they have systematically drowned their opponents in the soaking turf of Lumen Field. So, does this unit have a legitimate claim as the absolute best defense of 2025? And more crucially, can they continue to clean up the blunders of a brilliant but careless offense and single-handedly carry this team to the promised land? The pressure is on. He's trapped. He throws it deep. Oh, it's intercepted. He's bringing it back. That's a pick six. You ready? Hell yeah, screaming. 5-on-3, 1-2-3. We have to discuss the weather in Seattle. During the winter, the sky is a constant suffocating sheet of battleship gray. It's bleak, it's drenched, and it's utterly miserable. This year, the Seahawks defense chose to become that misery. It's soaking, it's gusting. Exactly, it's hell for them, but for us, it's perfect. The Dark Side is the moniker the defense adopted to embody their entire philosophy. When they take the field, their mission is to extinguish the last glimmer of hope for the opposing offense, and that is precisely what they have accomplished all season. The 2025 Seahawks laid claim to the #1 defense in the entire NFL as measured by DVOA. Now, to put DVOA in simple terms, it's a metric that calculates how utterly dominant a team is play-by-play when compared to the league average. For defenses, a negative number is the goal, and Seattle's score of -24.1% wasn't just the best in the NFL this year. It stands as one of the most dominant defensive campaigns in the entire history of the statistic. They also surrendered just 70.2 points per game, the lowest mark in professional football, and they earned it the hard way. This defensive squad endured a storm of adversity that would have shattered a lesser group. Now let's be clear, the offense was an absolute powerhouse. They featured the league's best receiver and were a top 10 unit in nearly every statistical measure. But their quarterback, Sam Darnold, seemed to have a serious problem holding onto the football this year. His league-leading fumble count constantly put his defense in absolutely catastrophic field positions. Yet the Dark Side never once uttered a complaint. They never pointed a finger. They just buckled their chin straps and extinguished every single fire. Their 25 takeaways ranked 6th in the league as they relentlessly cleaned up the messes their offense created. And no one, and let me be crystal clear when I say this, no one could run the football against them. They're just incredible. I mean, they've bailed us out in every single game. I just can't find enough good things to say about that defense. Look, it was brutal in training camp and OT is facing them. But man, am I glad they're on our team. The Seahawks are currently in the middle of a scorching streak of 26 consecutive regular season games without giving up a single 100-yard rusher. The last time any running back even hit the century mark against this Seattle defense, people were still fighting over the 2024 election. They refused to yield a single rushing touchdown until Week 5 of 2025. It was a defense that felt like a suffocating shroud of despair, systematically stripping teams of their options only to punish them for their predictability. The Legion of Boom was a thunderous storm. This Dark Side is a silent, menacing fog, and it is inevitable. And they are commanded by a mad scientist who might just be the single greatest defensive mind in the game today. One more. Let's go. Bring it, man. Bring it. Here we go. If you are a quarterback facing this team, Mike McDonald is the monster that haunts your nightmares. The head coach of the Seahawks has forged a system that is being described by offensive coordinators across the league as nothing short of diabolical, and that truly is the only word for it. McDonald's entire system is engineered around a grand deception of complexity. Before the snap, the defense is a whirlwind of chaotic motion. Linebackers are prowling in the gaps, safeties are hurtling toward the line of scrimmage, and corners are telegraphing a blitz. Everything points to the house being sent, so the quarterback frantically adjusts his protection, audibles the play, and gets the ball. And in that instant, the illusion shatters. The Seahawks suddenly drop 7 or even 8 men into coverage, flooding every passing lane with bodies. But that is where the true terror begins. They still find a way to get to the quarterback. Seattle was ranked 7th in the league with 47 sacks, and they accomplished nearly all of that destruction by rushing only 4 men. It is an impossible equation that offenses simply cannot solve. If you keep extra players in to block the rush, your receivers are swallowed by a sea of 7 defenders. But if you send everyone out on routes, McDonald's four-man twists and stunts will tear your offensive line to shreds. It is a choice between two poisons, a hopeless scenario where both options lead to your demise. The scheme is built on a foundation of versatility, and Seattle has a limitless supply. They have safeties who can deliver the blow of a linebacker. They have linebackers who can hunt the passer like a defensive end. They have defensive tackles who can vanish into pass coverage. And while you may not want to see Jaron Reed covering a slot receiver, it is this very system that allows them to reign over the West. In the final game of the season against the San Francisco 49ers with the #1 seed hanging in the balance, the scheme was executed to perfection. They completely neutered the 49ers. Explosive offense holding them to a paltry 173 total yards. They tormented Brock Purdy on almost 50% of his dropbacks. It was a brutal masterpiece of confusion and raw violence. McDonald's philosophy dictates that his players must earn the right to hunt the quarterback by first crushing the run. And once they had, he unleashed utter hell on third down. You have to give it to Mike McDonald. I can't imagine what kind of speech he delivered before that game. They had an answer for every single offensive play the 49ers attempted to run. But even the most brilliant scheme is nothing without the dogs to execute it. And in Seattle, the kennel is full. The power of this defense is not one superstar. It's an entire galaxy of them. It all starts in the secondary with the electric catalyst Devin Witherspoon. This man plays cornerback like a linebacker who has had far too much caffeine. Head coach Mike McDonald calls him the very heartbeat of his unit. And despite being sidelined with injuries for a time, Witherspoon was a constant looming presence this year. He was named a second-team All-Pro because he makes the kind of game-shattering plays that cornerbacks have no business making. He obliterates screen passes, screams off the edge on blitzes, and hunts down running backs for a loss. And the fire he brings is utterly contagious. But then you have the enforcer in the middle. Last year, the 2024 first-round pick, Byron Murphy, was the silent warrior in the trenches, the one doing the thankless jobs that never make the highlight reel. But this season, the world was forced to acknowledge his greatness. While he led all defensive tackles with 7 sacks, the numbers could never capture the sheer chaos he caused swallowing double teams and collapsing entire pockets. He was the one creating opportunities for everyone around him to shine. And speaking of Titans, it's time to talk about the seasoned veteran DeMarcus Lawrence. In his inaugural season in Seattle, the legendary defensive end silenced any doubters, proving his fire burned as bright as ever. He topped the team with 11 tackles for a loss, but his true masterpiece in 2025 was turning fumbles into points. In Week 10's battle with Arizona, Lawrence accomplished something that seemed to defy the laws of physics. In a single contest, he recovered 2 loose balls and returned both of them for earth-shattering touchdowns. He etched his name in the history books, becoming only the 4th man in the league's existence to achieve such a feat. For 60 minutes, he was a one-man defensive scoring onslaught, and he was far from the only one making game-changing plays. The emergence of Ernest Jones IV was nothing short of a revelation. He didn't just lead the team with 126 tackles, he transformed into a predator, snatching a team-high 5 interceptions and amassing 150 return yards and a score. He was the unbreakable core that fortified the defense's second level, an effort that earned him a prestigious second-team All-Pro selection. And we haven't even touched on the rookie phenom Nikari. The young safety stepped onto the field and immediately performed like a 10-year pro, batting down 11 passes and hurtling across the turf with absolute abandon. This entire defensive force was loaded with game breakers at every position. On the outside, Rick Woolen and Josh Joby created a no-fly zone. Leonard Williams and Uchenna Nwosu brought relentless pressure, collapsing the pocket with a vicious and unending wave of fresh-bodied assaults. The fact that only Murphy and Williams played in all 17 games is a testament that this dominance wasn't reliant on 1 or 2 individuals. It was built on a foundation of belief system and a culture where the next man up was always ready for war. But even the best offenses can sputter. Even the fiercest defenses need a moment's rest. And in those moments, Seattle called upon its ultimate weapon. Let me tell you, the truly great football organizations find a way to secure victory in every imaginable scenario in the NFL. Now, under normal circumstances, we wouldn't devote an entire segment of a story to special teams, but the 2025 Seahawks were anything but normal. This group wasn't just good. It was arguably the most dominant in the entire league, finishing ranked 1st overall. They were 5th in punting, 2nd in kicking, and 3rd in returns. And the undisputed king of this unit is Rashid Shahed. When the Seahawks brought Shahed on board during the season, it felt as though they had discovered a hidden power-up. Honestly, the man was pure lightning. He moves with the desperate energy of someone who is terrified of being caught, which is the perfect instinct for a return specialist. In the 14th week against the Falcons, he turned a kickoff into a masterpiece, going 100 yards to the house, slicing through defenders as if he were in a video game. But he reserved his most breathtaking moment for the grandest stage of all. In the divisional playoff clash with the 49ers, Shahed wasted no time. He took the game's opening kickoff 95 yards for a stunning touchdown. Before most fans had even found their seats, Seattle had seized a 7-0 lead. With the crucial block, Shahed is in the clear. He keeps going. Shahed is going to score. Unbelievable. It was a stunning blow to the jaw from which San Francisco would never recover. A player like Shahed completely rewrites the rules of the game. Opposing kickers are petrified of him. They resort to desperate squibs or kicking out of bounds, doing anything possible to prevent the ball from touching his hands, which consistently gifts the Seahawks incredible field position. Imagine your quarterback is hurt, sidelined with a debilitating oblique injury. The perfect response. A touchdown on the very first kickoff. An absolute stroke of genius from Mike McDonald. And on the rare occasion the offense sputters, they unleash their secret weapon, Dixon. The Australian punting phenom, a second-team All-Pro, consistently netted over 42 yards on every kick. You could give the other team the ball right where you are, or you could let Dixon paint them into a corner, forcing them to start from deep in their own territory. From there, you just let your ferocious defense go to work. He places the ball inside the 20-yard line with the delicate precision of a master craftsman setting a jewel. This forces opposing offenses into a nightmare scenario, marching the entire length of the field against the single best defense in the league. That is a battle they are destined to lose. With Shahed burning defenders for touchdowns and Dixon trapping teams in their own end zone, the special teams became a genuine force of destruction. They didn't just win games, they shattered wills, mirroring the same relentless intensity as their defensive counterparts. And speaking of intensity, there is one man's journey on this team that embodies the soul of the 2025 Seahawks defense more than any other. Derek Hall should not be here, not just on this roster, but on this planet. Hall was born 4 months premature, a fight for survival from his very first moment. He wasn't breathing. His brain was bleeding. The doctors gave his mother the unthinkable advice, let him go. They told her he had no chance. She defied them all. For his first week of life, Hall was kept alive by machines battling for every breath. So when you talk to him about the pressures of football, Derek Hall just scoffs. His entire existence has been a fight from the instant he was born. In 2025, that fight took on a new form. During Week 16 against the Rams, a flag was thrown. Hall was accused of stepping on an opponent. The replay looked damning, and the league brought down a 1-game suspension. Suddenly, the world labeled him a dirty player attacking his very character. But his team became his fortress, defending him fiercely, insisting it was a freak accident, a stumble gone horribly wrong. He was forced to watch from the sidelines, but he made his return for the epic regular season finale against San Francisco. He refused to let the venom of his critics penetrate his focus. Instead, he harnessed that raw fury and helped the defense utterly suffocate the 49ers, cementing their place as the conference's top seed. Screaming, "Let's go!" Despite making only 3 starts the entire season, Hall was 4th on the team with a staggering 10 quarterback hits. He was a game wrecker, the living embodiment of the team's incredible depth and unyielding spirit. Whenever Uchenna Nwosu or Boye Mafe needed a rest, Hall stormed the field, and the standard of dominance never wavered for a second. He is the perfect personification of the dark side mentality. Underestimated, unyielding, and prepared to bleed for every single yard. You won't find a lineup of former #1 draft picks or celebrated media stars on this defense. What you'll find are warriors like Hall, fearless specialists like Shahed, and relentless trench fighters like Byron Murphy. They are a single terrifying organism, and they are the reason Seattle has become every opponent's worst nightmare. This then is the legend of Seattle's dark side, the defense that cast a long, cold shadow over the entire NFL. They rose above an offense plagued by turnovers and clawed their way through a brutally competitive division to seize the throne in the NFC. They possess the league's most dominant statistics, the most brilliant scheme, and the most fearsome identity in the sport. But their quest is far from over. Dominance in the regular season is one thing, but immortality is forged in the fires of January and February. Can this historic defense carry the Seahawks to the promised land? Can they summon the spirit of the legendary Legion of Boom and deliver another championship to the Pacific Northwest? I need to hear your verdict down in the comments. Is this the most dominant defensive force of the last decade? Or is a spectacular collapse inevitable? Smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to Snap Count, where we break down the most legendary squads in the game. We pour over every single play so you get the whole story. We appreciate you tuning in and we'll catch you on the flip side. Let me be crystal clear. Our job is far from over. You hear me? This isn't the end.